My favorite thing about this picture here is that everybody's smiling and talking, having a good time, laughing. And Ignis is just like, what the hell are you guys doing? Get the fuck in the car. Alright, let's get started. If you were to ask me what my top 10 favorite games of all time was, somewhere on that list would be Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X. Now, if you were to ask me what Final Fantasy games I've played, it'd be Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X. Unless you count Kingdom Hearts. No? Okay, so coming off the heels of two legendary iconic games such as those, I expect a lot from Final Fantasy 15, one of the most anticipated games of this year. To get to the point, some people think this game is good, some people think this game is great, but nobody, it seems, thought this game was perfect. But why isn't this game perfect? Well, I can give you a few reasons, so here's the top 5 reasons why I think Final Fantasy could have been better. Number 1. As some of you may or may not know, Final Fantasy 15 is quest-based. You know what that means, don't ya? Motherfucking side quests! Side quests are essentially the filler episodes of video games, meaning nobody likes them. I, for one, can understand and appreciate what side quests are there for. They give the game fluff, so you feel like the game is longer than it should be, artificially inflating the game's length like some dick pump. And they give you such a nice break from the game's story. You know, the reason why you're actually playing the game, and why you spent $60 on this disc so you can deliver a stupid fucking virtual letter to a stupid virtual generic background character. I fucking love it. Can you feel my sarcasm? Anyways, quest-based games aren't all fuckery. I mean, look at Skyrim. Damn good game at the time. The thing is, you do all these favors even though you're the prince of the kingdom. No, king actually. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but I mean his dad dies like an hour in.
Would you mind helping me track down some more tags?
No, I can't do that. I'm the fucking, what do I look like? I could use your tongue as toilet paper if I wish it. The bottom line is that side quests should be there only if it's a good incentive for it, or if she's hot as fuck. Number 2. Alright, from this point on, I'ma drop some spoilers on the story. Personally, I don't think this will affect your experience on the game that much, and I can't really explain why because it's spoilers, duh. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a few seconds to decide if you want to keep watching. Good? Okay, good. The story fucking sucks. Okay, the story doesn't suck, so to say. It isn't atrocious, but I can easily place it subpar to my other Final Fantasy experiences. And what I'm saying pertains just to the story of FFXV, not how the story is told, not the writing or the main characters. In fact, they're quite superb and well done, but the story itself, maybe it's just me, but the story seems as basic as it can get. There's some kind of oppressive government / empire, somebody dies, the protagonist seeks revenge, adventures ensues. And the game isn't very long either. I mean, I've taken shits longer than this game. Kidding, but it's actually pretty long to modern game standards, I guess. And my time was about 30 hours with doing every side quest I could do at the time, not including the after completion side quest that I believe is a Final Fantasy tradition. But compared to my other Final Fantasy experiences, it feels more like the time in between hitting snooze and the second alarm. The main reason for this being, there aren't too many memorable events in this game, just 2 or 3 at the most. This game does have a lot of other things going for it, we're just not there yet. Number 3. The characters of Final Fantasy 15. Now when I say characters, I mean excluding these guys, and Cindy. What I mean are these guys. I mean, some of these guys are cool and interesting in theory, just not in the game. Let's go through all of them, shall we? Core is fucking badass. My only gripe is we don't ever see just how badass he is. We just hear about it. Remember just how built up Sephiroth was in the first half of Final Fantasy VII? Now imagine after that we never see him again. We only hear of him once or twice later in the story. Yes, at one point you do fight with him, but it's so early in the game you're too busy still learning how to keep track of your own character. Iris, the sister of Gladiolus, is sorta likable if you like the anime cliche. She's there for a bit, then she's pushed aside for the rest of the game. Blink and you'll miss it. Then there's Aranea, I fucking love her personally. But once again, it's underutilized. She fights you once, then she helps you fight once, and then boom, she's done. I don't know if any other people like her any, but I do personally. Cindy was created purely as eye candy and fan service, and I am not complaining. Sid, the grandfather of Cindy, and a reoccurring Final Fantasy character, creates powerful, sexy weapon upgrades for you and your team. Well, now that I think about it, that's not the only beautiful thing he's created. Quintiana does have one badass moment, but most of the time she's spouting out philosophical nonsense and I don't care to make much sense of. That leaves us with the 4 main side characters that I really think that could have made better use of. King Regis, the father of Noctis. Needless to say, he should be a pretty fucking important character, but this game doesn't treat him that way. Like stated before, he dies pretty early on and the game expects you to relate to Noctis and feel sympathetic, but it doesn't. Mainly because he's given like 30 seconds of screen time and 0 time building a connection with the character. So when he dies, you're just like, damn, that sucks. Ravis and Luna are plagued with the same problems. Little screen time, no connection, 0 sympathy. Ravis was part of the Empire and Luna was your bride to be. There's even an interesting dynamic going on with the 2 being siblings. I really like this dynamic because it brings us such golden scenes as...
What am I fighting for?
There's Arden, who I will get to next. And I said the best character for last, Umbra. He's a dog. Enough said. Oh my god, you're so cute, I love you so much. Our antagonist will start off as a quote, suspicious stranger who will help you out throughout your travels. It's not until he straight up murders Luna Freya that you actually know he's an asshole in disguise. Damn, that sucks. There's not much motivation to kill him other than killing your almost wife, but he brings darkness to the world. That should be your motivation, but it's not. It's because you're not getting laid. There's this level towards the end that just drags on and on, all the while Arden's just talking shit to you on the intercom. In fact, he spends a good amount of time just fucking with you. I think that's my motivation to kill him, so he could shut the fuck up. Speaking of which, I'm not even sure what his motivation is. I mean, it has something to do with revenge, I think, but it says a lot that the game doesn't do a good job conveying that. Number 5. I think this is something that affects me more personally, or maybe other Final Fantasy casuals, but I don't feel the same sense of progression. This is mainly due to the fact that other RPGs I played, your roster grows as you progress more in the game. You meet new and interesting characters that you get to know even more throughout the game. But with the little characters that we have, they actually could have. I mean, not by much. Aranea or Core would have been added to the party via side questing, and other characters could have been created for this purpose. And of course, it'd be too much on the screen at once and balancing issues, but it's not like party switching hadn't been a thing. Even seeing the life bar not grows kind of bothers me. I mean, maybe I'm just too used to Mega Mans and Kingdom Hearts, etc. kind of games, but it adds to the progression sense. With the battle system in place, you can just hold down circle the whole time, or whatever button you're using. There's not too many memorable events, not much character development, these kind of things bother me. But maybe that's just me, I don't know, it just falls short of my expectations. It could have been done more justice. It just feels like an almost complete game. Because the game isn't perfect, but at the same time it gives us a sense that it could have been a whole lot better. Now that's out of the way, you probably think I hate Final Fantasy 15, that it's a weak entry to the series and it's plagued with problems and issues, but I don't. In fact, I really enjoyed playing the game. I'm glad I bought it. The visuals are breathtaking even for the non-PS4 Pro players. The music is phenomenal as well as the voice acting, and the chemistry between the 4 is a treat in itself. The writing is the best I've seen in a while. And my god, have you seen the summons? You gotta check this shit out. Easily one of the best things in this game. You know, my sister said something in my playthrough that Prompto is the Michelangelo of the group, which is a fair comparison, but then I realized that they can all be compared to the Ninja Turtles. These are the fucking Ninja Turtles. I have heard some complaints in the combat system, seeing how it's one of the few with real-time fighting, similar to how Kingdom Hearts was, and there is an option in the game to help those who are not familiar with this and more familiar with the turn-based action system. But personally, I never saw a problem in this. I would prefer a more real-time experience as far as Final Fantasy 15 is concerned, but the landscape begs to be explored, and as far as I can tell, you're rewarded for this. Most of your travels will be on the main road via the Regalia, a prestigious car given by your father. Just be careful not to wreck it. Oh no, I wrecked my car. Now I will have to go all the way back to Cindy's place again. And by the end of the game, check this out. Pretty sweet, huh? The only thing that can ruin this is some lame Back to the Future joke.
Where we're going, you don't need roads. nuts.
Fuck! Chocobos are still a thing, and for anybody who don't know what chocobos are, there are these huge rideable birds that kind of function like horses, so to say. They're good for traveling off roads where the regalia cannot travel. Can you imagine driving on the highway and there's some asshole riding a big ass bird in front of you? Like, what the fuck, man? Get out of the road! Well, I can't lie. 10 out of 10 would definitely ride. Final Fantasy 15 claims to be a solid entry for new and old fans alike. Which I guess you can say that's true, but if you're just not a Final Fantasy kind of player, you'll be turned off by some of the other entries. I've had some glitches every now and then, but not too many. Hey Gladdy, I know you're trying to be cool and all, but could you possibly get your dick off the back of my head? Noxus just straight up turns invisible in this one. So anyways, I think that's all I wanted to say about the game, so thank you for watching this video to the end. If you're asking why I made this video saying bad things about the game, when in fact I really enjoyed my playthrough, that's because when a game's not too bad and not amazingly superb, it's not very fun making a video on it. There wouldn't be much of a point just making a video in the first place unless it's a review. At least that's the way I look at it. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to see more like this in the future. Hope you all had a beautiful day. As AVGN once said, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and if you have a problem with Happy Holidays, then happy shut the fuck up.